everybody. I'm Joyce, and welcome to Ruby Moss Cottage, episode 4. This is a podcast about makings and croftings, just about all the things that one person can do. I like to say I'm the jack of all trades and the master of none. But we have fun in the middle of all of it. It's also a podcasting about gardening and what I like to call homesteading. You would probably call it make-believe, but that's okay because we like to sprinkle a bit of make-believe around here. Excuse me, around here. It makes life feel a little more magical, don't you think? So just a little bit more tolerable. But yeah, I don't live on a farm. I think most of you have, if you've followed me from episode 1, you know I don't live on a farm. I live in a neighborhood, and I know that it's all in my head, but that's okay. That's half the battle. So we'll our motto is fake it till you make it. So if I pretend and fake it long enough that I have a farm and that I am a homesteader, who knows? Maybe someday we'll get there. But since I've last podcast, we've had some birthdays around here. My little grandson turned 3, and he's owning it. And my baby girl, she turned 30. Oh, I don't know how that happened. One of the things we did for her birthday, it's something that we have 2 daughters. And so we had no sons, just the 2 girls. And we've wanted to get tattoos, matching tattoos for a while. So we were all out to dinner on her 30th birthday. And my oldest daughter, her sister, and she's 31, said, let's go get our tattoos tonight. So we did. We spontaneously left the babies with the puppy and the daddy, and we went and we got our first, well, not my first, not my other daughter's, our first matching tattoos. And so I'll show you what it is. If I can get it to show on my wrist right there. Yeah. Just a bit of magic between the 3 of us. It's just something special for us. So we had fun doing that. We laughed so hard. We took videos. It was a fun evening. But yeah, so that happened. Valentine's Day, that was fun. The Troll movie. The Troll movie came out on video. We've had so much fun watching that. Me and the Grandies, watching them dance all over the place. I'm telling you, they can say it word for word. And dance. Oh, they're so fun. As a matter of fact, we were outside this morning, the 4 of us. I have all 3 of them today, and we were outside playing. And I had it. I downloaded the soundtrack, the Troll soundtrack. So I had it out there, and we were blasting it, and they were dancing around. I videoed some of it. By the time I ran inside, got my camera, and came back out to video it, they kind of stopped. But the middle one, the 5-year-old, she loves, the world is her stage. And her life is one theatrical event. And so she's mainly the star of the video. I'm hoping to tag it on to the end of this. But anyway, yeah, we had fun out there. If you can imagine a 7, a 5, and a 3-year-old saying, I got this feeling down in my bones. It's just so cute. But so yeah, that's happened. Spring, oh my land, spring is in the air here in the South USA. It is so pretty. I also took some pictures while I was out walking around in my yard and on the farm. And so I'll post some of the things that are blooming. I've got hyacinths blooming. I've got daffodils blooming, camellias blooming. I've got some of my hydrangeas. I'm not sure I got pictures of this. Some of my hydrangeas actually have leaves. The nodes have turned into leaves. They're not fully leafed, but there's little leaves on the hydrangeas. That worries me because I feel we're really going to have another cold spell. I don't think we'll have ice or anything like that, but still, that could really freeze some of those blooms of the older ones. But so the hydrangeas are starting to green up. The rose bushes are starting to green up. My peonies, I've got peonies that are about this far up out of the ground, the red leaves. So yeah, it's really starting to wake up out there. It's so energizing and just so fresh and refreshing, I guess is the word I needed. It's just so refreshing. So yeah, all of that's just taken place, and it's just, oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So I'm getting really excited about that. But let's get started talking about our crafting. What's going on in my inside the cottage, what's in my bags. I'm going to start with what's in my bags, and I'm going to start little and then I'll get big. I've been monotonous not monotonous, monogamous. I've been monogamous in my knitting because I think the last time I podcasted, I put my goals out there for the year: the steeking, the brioche, and then there was a Stephen West, the pinguono, that I wanted to do. Those were my 3 big projects I wanted to do. And so I started the steeking class, but my yarn wasn't in, so I couldn't start that. But I have been watching the steeking class that I'm taking on Etsy. And then the brioche, I just wasn't in the mood. I really wanted to get started on that Stephen West pinguono. So that's what I've really been working on the most. So I'll show you that. But first I want to show you the sock that I've started. And it's in my little bag that I made, if you'll remember. My very first project bag. And it is the pattern that I'm making. If you'll remember, I'm doing the, I was going to do heart toes, but that's when it was the 1st of February. I may do flowers on the heel and across the toes, but it's the pattern by Diana Clinch. I think she goes by Hippie Chick Knits. But if you'll remember, that was, let me see if I'm getting the heel. It had that flower on it. And then across the toes, there's flowers. And then I might do the one with the heel that's a heart. I don't know if you can see that heart. I don't even know if the heart really shows up on that. But anyway, that's what I'm doing this with. And what did I do with the, oh, it fell. So there's a cable that goes down the side, and I don't know if it's going to show up. Yeah, you can see it right here. That's a cable that's going down the side. This is probably not the best yarn for a cable. I want to try and hold it still. You're probably getting sick. But anyway, this is Strolls by Knit Picks. You can see the cable a little bit right there. And then this is Lemonade, the Lemonade Shop. It's Mermaid Tales, I think is what it's called. And then this stitch marker is by Knitty by Nature on Etsy. If I can get that to stop moving. It's a bird. I love her stitch markers. They are they're a dream. Every one I've ever gotten from her, they don't snag. That's a progress keeper, I guess. But yeah, I did that much of that on that sock. So that's in my bags. And then I'll take you to the pinguono next. Gosh, this thing is big. I'll show you the bag that it's in. It's in, it says I Knit. It's a great big bag because there is a whole lot of yarn in this bag. I've just gone and pulled out all of my scraps. I have one cabinet full of yarn that is just leftover yarn down through the years. If it's not enough for a project, but I have ideas of, I can weave that in with a shawl, or I could weave that in with a blanket. I just stick it on in that cabinet. And then I've also pulled yarn from my stash of yarns that I wanted to use in it. But so it takes a great big bag to use up. But this is it. And I don't know that we're going to be able to show you. You're going to not get the full effect. I'm going to pull up his pattern again for you. Well, I guess I should start at the beginning, not where I am. this is what it's going to look like. Of course, my colors are not like that, but that gives you an idea of what it's supposed to look like. So I have started, and right now I'm working on this sleeve. So this is the right side. Oh, I'm going to try my best to hold this up. This is the right side of it. This is the left side. Of course, I haven't put the shoulder in yet. So this is the left side of it, and it's nothing matches. So the front left does not match the front right. I'm going to back up. So that's the front right. This is the front left. This is going to be the back. I mean, it's kind of dropped. This will be the back of it. And of course I have to add a lot more to it. So much fun. You know what? I have to show you the inside of this, and don't pay attention to all those strings that I have to weave in and everything, but he's a genius. I mean, his work is just utter perfection. The inside, if you can see, like I have these welts on the outside that you had to go in and make, and they're not going to show up very well. But they're rolls that kind of stick up out of the work. Look at the inside of that. I mean, he is so talented. When you have to join and seam, it's beautiful on the inside. It just amazes me. I think I told you last time about how I ran into him at Rhinebeck, and I didn't run into him. A friend of mine had said she had seen him, and so we went looking for him and had got my picture made with him. But he was so gracious then, as I told you. And this weekend, my sister and I went to a Black Mountain yarn shop, which is about 2 hours away from here. It's up near Asheville, near Asheville, but it's Black Mountain. It's Black Mountain yarn shop. And he's been there several times. He was just actually there recently. And I was talking to the owner about him, and the ladies that were sitting around the table there that are the knitters that come in there often, the local knitters, they were all talking about him and telling stories about him. And he is truly an amazing person. His heart is as beautiful as his knitwear, as his patterns, as his everything that he is, his creations. His heart is as beautiful as his creations are. It's just amazing how caring he is. They have a local man that lives there. He's 83 years old, Mr. Pete. I met him several years ago, and he comes in and he knits. Well, he was too sick to come down off the mountain to meet. And I don't know if it would have been his first time meeting him. He may have met him before, but he was too sick to come down off the mountain to the yarn shop for the whole Stephen West deal. And so Stephen West went to his house, and I was just like, that is truly a good-hearted man, someone who hasn't forgot where they came from. Their success can do strange things to people, and there are just a few. When you see that they have really not changed, it is just heartwarming to see that they haven't forgot where they came from. That they, what is it? My grandmother would have said that they didn't get too big for their britches. That they really love what they do. They love the people they do it with and for. And it's just heartwarming to see that. I'll tell you, even in the podcasting world, you watch, and I know you've watched it too, and you see people and you watch them from the beginning, and then you see they get really big, and then they just kind of get this elitist feeling. But I tell you, it's so heartwarming. Like when you see people like the Grocery Girls Jody and Tracy are two of the sweetest, most down-to-earth, kind people. It's just like I don't even think they know how big they are. It's heartwarming to see that they aren't doing this to pump up their own ego. They're just doing this for the fun of it, and they really love the connection of people. Molly from A Homespun House, just so kind and gentle, and those are just a few that I've been able to reach out, or who've really embraced me and been sweet and kind to me, and it's just heartwarming. And then to hear those stories about Stephen West and how he sat down with the ladies and gave them tips and on how to be better knitters and just how to relax in their knitting. And it's encouraging to see the knitting world. I think it's one of the most friendliest. The fiber world, I think, is a very friendly world in general. But yeah, I really enjoyed hearing all of that. But his patterns are just great. This is only the second one I've ever done, and I'm going to tell you something. I've loved it. This, if you'll remember me talking about my Find Your Fade shawl that I finished a couple episodes ago, and how much I loved doing that. I get up every morning really looking forward to knitting on that. That's how this Pinguono is. I love it. It's fun. Every section, I'm always changing colors. He's always changing patterns. There's a lot of garter stitch, but you're doing things like the welts, or you're turning your work, or you're picking up, and it's so easy to pick up the way he has you knit, and it's just so much fun. So I have been knitting monogamously on this. So the other projects I haven't got to yet, but I have really, really enjoyed working on my Pinguono. So that is in my bags. I call, in case you haven't figured it out, in my bags is what most podcasters call whips or works in progress. That's what my in my bags is all about. So that is that one. Let me see what else I have here in my bags. Okay, this is something that's fun for me. It's in my bags. This is another bag. I've mentioned her before, but I'll hold it up here. She's got those sunflowers on it. It's by Steel City Stitchers, and she's in Pittsburgh. It's close to my hometown where I was born and raised. But I love her bags, and I wanted this shape because inside of it I keep my drop spindle. And look at that drop spindle with those sprinkles in it. Oh my goodness, I love that. And I cannot remember the name of the lady who made this, so you'll see it down here. But yeah, she actually has, let me show you some of the fiber I bought from her. She packages it so beautifully. When I bought the spindle, I bought the fiber. She had this fiber all in little cupcake. I've kind of messed it up, but she had each little, I know very little about spinning. I don't even know what this is called. But anyway, each little poof of fiber she has in little cupcake holders. It was so pretty. This is some of the first stuff that I spun of hers. Now it's very artsy. I mean, it is thick and thin for sure. It's not thin and beautiful like most people, but I'm happy with it. I'm very pleased with it. I just think it's such beautiful yarn fiber that I spun into yarn. I don't have a large quantity of it, so I'm going to have to I'm thinking it'll maybe be the cuffs to some mittens or some gloves or something, or maybe the brim to a hat that I make. But I love the way she packages her fiber, her roving, and those little cupcakes. Like I said, I've kind of mashed it, but I wish her name was on the box. I'm going to have to look that up. But isn't that pretty? You can imagine what it looked like when it arrived. But yeah, that's in my bags. So spinning, drop spindle. I used to have they're not called spinning wheels. What are they called? I used to have one. And I was so intimidated by spinning that I sold it. And I wish I had not have done that now. But the lady who got it, she's a good friend, and she does beautiful work, so she's making money on it. So that's a good thing. She's spinning her own yarns and dyeing them, Heather. So anyway, I'm having fun with this drop spindle. I have several drop spindles. I've been doing it for a couple of years, and like I say, I don't do it enough to really become great at it, but I'm having fun, and so that's all that matters. But anyway, that's something I'm pulling out. I even have one of these little Turtle Made. It says Turtle Made. I can't remember what they're called, but that's a cute little spindle, isn't it? I kind of collect them like I do yarn. But there's more roving down in here, so I'll be spinning all of that in. And then she threw in some stitch markers, and it says, enjoy these extras. The pin is from the Heinz factory in Pittsburgh. It's like a little pickle. And then there's some stitch markers in there. Pickle. I don't know. You can't really tell the stitch markers, but that was sweet to throw the little extra in. I really like her bags. She has great customer service. But anyway, so that is in my bags. Little drop spindle. Maybe you spinners can really give me some pointers and tips and tell me how to really perfect this on my spinning journey. Okay, so the next thing that's in my bags, this is kind of in my bag segueing into my shopping bags, because remember, and I hope it's down here. Yeah. First of all, let me show you the bag. This is one of Mrs. Brown's bags. I've had this for a while. Little cats on it. Can you see them? I love it. And then the inside is very crisp and clean, and with a little pocket made from the same fabric as the handle. But yeah. So anyway, what is in this is the bluebells that, remember me telling you about by Kate Davies, that I was going to make, and that's what I'm going to steek, hopefully. Kind of almost talked myself out of that. I've watched it. I'm watching this class on Craftsy, and it's just like, I don't know if I'm going to have the stomach to do it. I really, really don't. So it may be a pullover. But I ordered all of my yarn, and it's going to be done. Let me see. I've got, all this came in. It's called Jamieson and Smith. And I don't know if you can see that color. It's pretty accurate. If it comes out on the video like it looks there, that's pretty accurate. That's going to be the main color of the sweater. I had to order like, I don't know. I have a whole bag of yarn here. I think I had to order like 13 or 14 balls of this. And then I'm going to do, it's called a Bluebells cardigan, but I think they also look like tulips. So I wanted to change the color. And I know, if you know me personally, you know that's shocking. I mean, that's just really shocking to change the color of anything from a pattern. But anyway, this is what I will be doing the flowers, or the color works out of. And I think that's true, maybe not real true to color. These, I think, maybe a little more pinker and in a different color of red. This looks awful lot like Christmas, but it's not that pink and red. But anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing that out of. So that kind of transitions into my shopping bags. This is some yarn that I bought, and it really, I think I'm really going to like knitting with this. It could be a little scratchy, but I think it's going to soften up. I've not used it. If anyone has used the Jamieson and Smith 2-ply jumper, let me know if it's going to soften. It's not bad at all. It's just a little rustic, but when I say rustic, I don't mean scratchy. It just feels really natural, and I like that feel. I think it's going to give a great shape to the pullover or cardigan, whatever it is, whatever it decides to be. I don't know. Time will tell, but that's in my Mrs. Brown's bag. So that is all that is in my bags. taking me to shopping bags. Shopping bags has been fun. I got all of this yarn that I showed you from that's the Jamesons. Then we went to, like I said, we went to Black Mountain Yarn Shop this weekend. If you were ever in the Asheville area of North Carolina or in Black Mountain, you have to go to this shop. It is one of the best shops I've ever been to. Charlotte is a good sized city, and there's just something lacking in our yarn shops here. This yarn shop, she does it. Donna, you and Dawn do a great job. But, you know, I got a magazine. I'm going to save that for my book bag. But I bought my very first, let me pull it out, Fringe Supply bag. I am so excited. This thing is so beautiful. And they gave me this bling. Can you read that? Black Mountain Yarn Shop. I'm so excited about this. I don't know how much that's going to show off, but oh, the feel of it. And it has the grommets on the inside. So if you are using several skeins, especially like for color work. Oh, love it. So excited. That was a splurge. I went with yarn. I went having in mind that I was going to buy yarn for my pinguono. And I did. I was very happy about that. So, because so many times when we're traveling around and we go to yarn shops, it's just like, this is pretty, this is pretty, this is pretty. And so I come home and I go, why did I buy all this? But I didn't do that this time. I'm happy with everything I bought. And let me tell you, she has a selection. But I needed to find some yarn for like the collar of my pinguono and then all around the bottom of it. So I bought these two by Madeline Tosh. It's DK. Let me see if I'm trying to find the color. This is called Candlewick. And then this one is Madeline Tosh as well. And it's the Tosh DK. This is called Pendleton Red. It's a pinky red or a rosy red. So those are going to be the top and the bottom of my pinguono. And then, Stephen West does a black and white trim. So I got black and white. This is Quince & Co. Chickadee. It's all Chickadee, which is the fingering. So I got that. And then I bought some Hedgehog Fibers Sporty Merino. This is called Fool's Gold. Look at the colors. Oh, aren't those colors gorgeous? Ah, that's going to be so pretty. At this point, it's probably going to be my right sleeve. Is what this is going to be. And then I just got some. I really noticed in my stash around that I'm lacking in yellows. So I bought some yellows to add to the, actually, this is Finch. I got that to keep in stash for heels, toes, and cuffs of socks. And that's blowing out. I wish it's not the true color of yellow that it is. It's a beautiful yellow. This is the same color. Maybe a thicker yarn would show up a little better. And then I got this color to go in the pinguono. So yes, it was a great trip. Had so much fun, so many laughs. My sister is a new knitter, so it was quite a thrill to watch her in the yarn shop and then trying to familiarize her with good yarns. And she's just like all in. Let me tell you, she is all in. Okay, so one of the other things in my shopping bag is I ordered this from Etsy, and I'd never heard of this designer before, Amy Jade Creations. She's on Etsy. I was just cruising Etsy like you do, and I saw this. I'll be prepared. Look at it. Look at it. A chicken. with a yarn ball. I'll pull it back so you can see. And that gingham, isn't that just perfect chicken fabric? Oh, I love it. And it's red gingham on the inside. And she kind of patchworked it together, which I love that. So that's in my shopping bag. I've had fun this 2 weeks. Done some shopping.
Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, just rushing on. I don't need no reason, don't need control. I feel so high, I'm feeling when I'm in my zone. 'Cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't.
A gift bag. Someone sent me, one of my followers, let me find it. She said she had seen some fabric and she just thought of me, and so she just wanted to make me a bag and send it to me. And her name is Jeanette Harris. She's in Michigan, and her business is called Ply, Ply Designs Studio. And she sent me this, and she said she thought of me when she saw the fabric, but it's chickens. And then on the inside, it's like chicken wire. Isn't that cute? So thoughtful. I'm thinking this would make a great egg bag, wouldn't it? Maybe to line a basket with it. I think that'd be so cute when I get my chickens. But, so anyway, thank you, Jeanette. That was just so sweet of you to think of me. She also included a little apple that was a stitch marker or progress keeper one. And it's already over there in something. So, thank you. That was so sweet of you to think of me. And so that was my gift bag. I think I'll just call that a gift bag. She sent me that. She gifted me that. That was so sweet of her. Now, someone else gifted me something, but really it's to you guys. But I think I'm going to use it. You know, I have a segment called Prize Bags, and that's what we do. The last time, I just randomly drew. I had you, if you would repost that my podcast was up and follow me, you reposted to 2 people, then you can enter. So I did that, and I sent that off to Shelly in Canada. Got that book out of the way. And if you'll remember, if you're new, let me tell you what I'm doing for my prize giveaways. I'm trying to go through my library. I've got so many books, knitting books, or they may be gardening books or decorating books or whatever. I'm trying to work through those, and as I do, I'm going to just give them away. So that I'm not going to, if they're books that I know I'm not going to use again, I'm going to give them away. And so I sent the first one off. The next one that we're going to have is our giveaway, and I'm not sure. I may do, it'll be definitely something in my Ravelry group, which I'll talk about that later. But this is the next one. The next book is the Cowgirls, and this will be our next giveaway, and it's a book of cowls. I'll kind of zoom in close so you can see some of those. But anyway, it's a great book. But one lady, she's Shy Moment on Instagram. Dawn Beatty is her name. She's from Manchester. Oh no, sorry about that, Dawn. You're from New Franklin, Ohio. But she sent me, she said, you know what, that's a good idea. I've got some books I'm going to send on to you that I'm finished with, and you can give them away as well. I thought that was fun. So she sent book 4, Malabrigo. Great book. Look at that shawl. That's beautiful. I have not looked through this one. Oh, wow. Yes. Wow. Dawn. This is the one I told her, I said, I might have to keep this and work through it myself before I give it as a prize. It's called Fair Isle Knitting, and it had some beautiful things in it, some hats that I just thought were precious. I'm trying to find a picture. I don't want to give any of these patterns away since it's obviously a paid for. Isn't that cute little kid's hat? Here's another hat. Fair Isle. I love Fair Isle. It's called Autumn Beanie. And so this is the one I thought I was going to keep for myself, or not keep, borrow for a while. Now that I'm looking through this one, beautiful things. It's got Fair Isle in it as well. And some sweaters. Oh, look at that sweater. Oh, it's so hard for me to do this. Is that not gorgeous? And there's a glare. But anyway, okay, I can't keep it. This and this, these two books, are both going in the prize bag. So when we draw, this one of them, I won't send them at the same time because we need to spread the love. But that will be going in our prize bags. I thought that was so nice. Thank you, Dawn. That was so sweet of you to do that. So we will be adding that to the prize bag, and soon, hopefully, I'll come up with something on our Instagram page that we can, not our Instagram, our Ravelry page, that we can have some kind of a giveaway book bag. Okay, this is something that I bought at Black Mountain Yarn Shop. It's the reason why I went. It's the reason why I tried to round up a group of friends and get going up there, because I wanted this. I looked everywhere online. The Lane magazine. Let me tell you something. If you can get your hands on one of them, do it. It is so good. It's a bit pricey for a magazine, but it's a bookazine. It really has pattern after pattern after pattern after pattern that I will knit. So it's worth it to me because, you know, patterns are normally $5, $6 at best. And so when I feel like when there's this many patterns in one book, it's worth the money. There's also, this is what I would love to knit. It's called Nordic Arrows. And the pattern is by Suzanne Summers. Not the Suzanne Summers. Oh, I hope that shows up. I think that's beautiful. That looks like a Stephen West pattern to me. Isn't that gorgeous? And I do want to do it in those exact colors. That's so pretty. But anyway, yeah, there's the photography is just gorgeous. Like, look at this. That shawl on the side of a barn. Just beautiful work. Beautiful work. And then they have some recipes in here. Oh, I've already looked through it twice and could just sit here and look at it while talking to you. So this is in my book bag. So I had this book in my library for ages. It's called Made to Crave by Lisa Turkhurst. And it is such a good book. Just like on the back of it, I don't have any readers, so I don't know how much I'm going to... So it has food become more about frustration than fulfillment? Made to Crave is the missing link between a woman's desire to be healthy and the spiritual empowerment necessary to make that happen. It breaks the cycle of I'll start again on Monday and feel good about yourself today. Stop agonizing over numbers on the scale and make your peace with your body. And it's just on and on. It is so good. I remember it being such a good book to read. So I picked it back up and I challenged all of my knitting friends, and we're all reading it. Most of them had it in their library. Some of them had to buy it for the first time. This is all marked from where I read it before. It's in my book bag. Now I've got it out there to you, and that just help hold me more accountable. I'm trying to get my friends all on board so they can help me stay accountable. But, you know, at my age, I shouldn't be hurting the way I am. And so I'm like, I've got to get over this hump that I'm in. Anyway, that is the 3 books that are in my book bag right now. You know what? I think I'll start a book bag thread on Ravelry, which I do have a Ravelry group now. We have a Ravelry group now. It's Ruby Moss Cottage. After it was all said and done, I probably should have done Ruby Moss Cottage podcast. I may be able to go back in and change it. I don't know. I'll have to see. But anyway, if, at this point, Ruby Moss Cottage will bring you to that podcast, to the group. And please join, introduce yourself. Right now, there's 2 threads. By the time this podcast gets up, there may be 3 more. Not 3 more. There may be 3 or 4. But as of right now, there's an introduce yourself, and there's what's in my bags. So please introduce yourself and post pictures of what's in your bags. That's encouraging. You never know when someone else across the world is going to be knitting the same thing as you are, and they will want to see, and you can talk to each other about it. Yes? So that is up and going now. A big, big thank you to Vonnie, and I want to get her page right. It's Studio Von Designs. Studio Von Designs. I'm going to put it right here. Ravelry has a thing whenever you sign your group up. That's not the right wordage. When you create a group. And you can they will provide you with someone who will make your free banner and your free badge. Who knew? So they evidently passed my name on to Bonnie, and she has been a dream to work with. Ravelry is just an amazing, amazing tool. It's an amazing community. But yeah, so she created the banner, and she's working on my badge. And I thank you, Bonnie. I'm sure you're not watching, but just thank you. That is beautiful. I told her, she asked me what I like. I said, I love fairies. I like mushrooms. I like butterflies. I like color, cheerful stuff. And she came up with that banner, and it's just perfect. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know that is up. So that's going to help us with doing giveaways and just putting faces to names and just getting to know each other a little bit better. So I'm really, really excited about that. So that's it as far as the crafting world. Happenings around the cottage. There's going to be a lot of weeding in my future. Spring is in the air, and we have a lot of weeds coming up. Oh my goodness, my little grandbaby is standing here and she's giggling at me. I guess she thinks it's silly that Gigi is talking into a camera, huh? Okay, do you want to go play? Go play. I'm almost finished. Go on. What? In a minute. We'll get snacks. I'm almost finished. I guess it is kind of silly when you walk in and you see your Gigi staring at a camera talking and there's no one there. But anyway, back to happenings around the cottage, the weeding of the gardens. There's going to be a lot of that, and a lot of mulch spreading, and a lot of cutting back. But it's going to be in the 80s this week. Can you believe that? February. Ugh, I love it. So that'll be happening. My husband and I are planning to take a trip down to Fripp Island next weekend. That's just our favorite little vacation spot just to get away to. And we're going to go down to Savannah for one day and yarn shop hop. I think there's 2 there. I might be wrong about that, but if any of you that are watching are from the Savannah area, please let me know. You know, anywhere from the Beaufort down to the Savannah area, let me know if there's yarn shops that I need to stop at and visit, what your favorites are. I'm looking forward to that little getaway. This is going to be a long weekend for us, but so that's in the plans. I think that's about all that's going on. That's all of my crafting. I'm looking around here to make sure I covered everything that I had set out. Let me show you something. This is out of my bags, and I didn't have this wrote down because I didn't have anything out of my bags. And then I decided, let me just pull something out of my works that I've had. This is a shawl. I'm going to hold it up. We'll get the fringe down there. This is a shawl that I did several years ago. I bought the yarn when we were on a weekend trip to Atlanta. It's called, on Ravelry, it's called Alp Oriental Rounded Shawl. But I call it my Bohemian Rhapsody. I think I call it on Ravel Me my Bohemian Sunday Rhapsody. Because it was so fast, I worked it up in a Sunday afternoon. It's a kit. It's actually just one big ball of yarn. And all of these yarns, I just kind of lead into it. One leads into another, leads into another. And it gives you this bohemian look, which is me to a T. And then they actually even had the fringe cut. I mean, like, how perfect is that? I don't know if this is still even, I don't even know if it's still available. It may be discontinued. I don't know. However, I'm going to make more out of all of my scraps. You know, you can just do something like this really simple. I mean, there's nothing to it at all. It's just stockinette stitch. So, yeah, that's out of my bags. Many years ago, but yeah, it's out of my bags. And I wear it a lot because it goes with everything. And a lot of times here in the South, you don't really need a coat. You just need something warm. If I'm warm here, usually I'm warm. So, anyway, yeah, I wanted to show you that. Let me say thank you again to everyone who has followed along with me from episode 1 to episode 4. Thank you. I so appreciate all of your comments. They mean the world to me. Thank you for interacting with me, and thank you for following me if this is your first time. If you stuck it out through this entire podcast, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you'll come back. Feel free to subscribe, and please feel free to follow me on Instagram. I'm Ruby Moss Cottage on Instagram. Follow me on Ravelry. I'm Ruby Moss Cottage on Ravelry. I just needed to keep it simple, so I'm Ruby Moss Cottage everywhere. The group, Ruby Moss Cottage. And so, yeah, thank you, and feel free to follow along on any of those social medias. And it looks like that's another one in the bag. So remember to live and let live, and in whatever your little crafty hands find to do, remember, take it one stitch at a time. Bye!
Come on, Gigi.